there. So in one of my other videos, I showed you how to transplant a seedling into my aquaponic system here. Now typically, if you're just doing fish only, you know, of course pH is important, but as long as you're not showing signs of stress, typically you're fine. Now the difference is I'm actually growing something in here, and now that I'm growing something, I want to test the pH to make sure that it's within the level that I need it to be. Typically you want it to be within 7 to 7.5. That's about a good range whenever you want it to be, you know, a good area for your fish, but also it's going to be good for your plants. Within my experience, the very first time I built an aquaponic system and I had a plant in there, it looked great. And then probably like 2 or 3 days later, it just was fried. And come to find out, it's because my pH was way too high. So today I'm going to teach you how to test your pH and how to effectively buffer it to where you want it to be. There's going to be 2 different methods that you can do. You can do like there's like an organic method, naturally, which I try not to do that one unless it's extremely just like really bad, like super high. You can use a lime. In this video, I'm going to use an acid buffer. That one, it gradually moves it down. Typically, you're going to add about 1 gram or 2 every single day to your system until you get the desired pH. And I'm going to show you what all you need, what I do, and let's get started. Alright, and right here is where you see everything that you're going to need today to test your pH and buffer it to where you want it to be. Right here is going to be your pH strips. This is how we're going to test it. This is going to be your acid buffer. Super easy to order it. I just order it on Amazon normally. Order it online. Super quick, super easy. And then on this I just took from like a Pepto-Bismol. It's just a simple measuring cup. And then just a simple scale that weighs in measurements of grams. As you can see here, there's a little seedling that we put in here the other day. Everything's looking good, looking green, but we just want to make sure that it stays that way. Now, in order to test your pH, you're going to go ahead and get these strips. Now, you're going to take it out. You are just going to take one out. You want to make sure that you try not to hit the strips with your fingers. The acid on your fingers will actually affect the test, so make sure you don't touch it. Now, usually if you just have a fish tank, you can just swirl it 2 times in the fish tank. Mine's covered by this grow bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little water hose here. Just going to run it across there once, twice, done. And then what I do is I just get a piece of wood or just anything flat, and I set it right down on there, flat, so that I can read it. Your pH is this one. It's going to take 30 seconds before you can read it. Everything else, you're good to go ahead and read it right away. It's been about 30 seconds now, so now we're going to go ahead and test it. The way you're going to see what your levels are at is you're going to just measure it against the color chart that they have on the back of the pH here. So here's my pH. Putting it against here, it looks like I'm at about an 8, I'd say. Somewhere around there. It's around about an 8. So it's a pretty high. It's about 1 high. So next what we're going to do is we're going to add the acid buffer. This right here is the acid buffer that we are going to use. Now for the directions on this one, you're going to want to add 1 gram of this for every 10 gallons in your tank. That little tank that I'm showing you guys is just a 10 gallon. So we're just going to go ahead and add 1 gram of this to the tank today. Puts us just a little over 1 gram. That should be perfect. Now, if you don't have a scale, you can use teaspoons and stuff, but typically, I mean, this is only a little tiny bit in there, so you're barely going to be able to weigh that. So it's just way easier just to use a scale. And now we're going to go put it in the tank. Now, you'll notice that I just have a little, very small area to put mine in. If you're just using a regular tank, just sprinkle it on top. Make sure you're feeding your fish first, though, when you do it. That way that your fish aren't tempted to eat it. Otherwise, just drop it in there, and you should be golden. Alright, now it's all in there. Alright guys, so that about sums up our video today. Guess Muggle decided to get in the video. Say hi. So all you gotta do now is wait 24 hours. Go ahead and test your water again tomorrow. If it's where you want it to be, perfect. If it's not where you want it to be, you're just gonna do the acid buffer again until it gradually lowers it over time and gets to the level that you want it to be. Until next time, if you like what you see, like what you heard, click, like, subscribe, and have a great day, guys.